Well, welcome to our third and final broadcast of the evening between the Central Methodist University Eagles and the Kansas City Wesleyan Coyotes. Both of these teams played earlier today. Kansas Wesleyan played in Game 1. They got walloped by Southeastern 15-1. They're going to look to redeem themselves here today in this final broadcast. CMU, moments ago, just beat Madonna 5-3. Late inning action home run from Khalil Thrasher put them on top for good in that one. In a dramatic victory. Let's go through the lineup for Kansas Wesleyan. Leading off for them, it's a very similar lineup they had in Game 1. Leading off, William Dryberg playing second base. The left fielder, Kendall Foster. Dustin Sipe at third. Hayden Brown, Zach Beatty, Jarrett Gable, Kevin Esquilian Cruz, Zach Olson, and Jackson Newman catching in Game 2 of the day for the Coyotes. First pitch is taken for a strike by Dryberg from Marcus Pritchard. Pritchard making the start for CMU in this one. He's 6-3 on the season, 4.66 earned run average. That one is fouled away by Dryberg. He has 49 strikeouts and 58 innings of work. And again, 6-3 record on the season. Here's the pitch. Swinging and a miss. Dryberg's out on strikes. And that's how we start this one. The defense behind Pritchard, he's pitching to Van Dorn, Dominique Van Dorn, who did not play in Game 1, but he's getting the catching duties in Game 2. Then you have Conforti at first, Giarola at second, Weatherwood at third, Merced at short, and then Thrasher in left, Nichols in center, West and right. That's fouled away by Foster. Here's the 0-1. Inside corner, called strike. 0-2 on Kendall Foster, the left fielder for the Kansas Wesleyan Coyotes. Foster hitless in Game 1. Swings and misses there. It's 2 up, 2 down for Pritchard. Both strikeouts. That'll bring in Dustin Sipe, the third baseman for the Coyotes. Sipe had the big home run for the Coyotes in Game 1. The only run they scored was off of his bat, a home run to deep left. He takes strike one. Pritchard has looked good so far. Marcus Pritchard. Tyler Triano goes for Kansas Wesleyan today in this matchup. We'll give you his numbers after in the bottom of the first. Swing and a miss there by Sipe. Quickly in the hole, 0-2. Again, CMU beat Madonna 5-3 in our middle game, and then Southwestern walloped Kansas Wesleyan 15-1 in our first game. Strike three called on the outside corner. 3 up, 3 down, all strikeouts for Pritchard. We go to the bottom of the first inning. Scoreless here at CMU. Well, bottom of the first inning. CMU will have a similar lineup that they had in Game 1. It'll be Bobby Nichols, Robbie Merced, Jeremy Conforti, Tanner Sears, Alan West, Tommy Giarola, Joseph Weatherwood, Khalil Thrasher, and then Dominique Van Dorn in the 9-hole catching. Bobby Nichols leading off. He led off the game against Madonna with a walk and went around to score. He takes strike one there from Tyler Triano, who's 5-0 on the season, 4.03 earned run average, 33 strikeouts, and 38 innings of work for the right-hander. Swinging a foul off to the right, 0-2 on Nichols. And now Nichols aboard first, I believe. Might have been catcher's interference there or something along that line. I'm not sure what the home plate umpire called, but now Nichols is aboard on first. Catcher's interference, I think. That's taken for a strike by Merced. Merced went hitless in game one, 0 for 4, a pair of strikeouts, a ground out, and a line out. He was robbed of a base hit by a nice diving effort by the second baseman. 0 for 4. Here's a check on the runner, and back in safely is Nichols. Merced looking for a hit to keep this line moving. Here's the pitch from Triano. Check swing. He went around. Strike two. 0-2 on CMU's shortstop. Winner of this game will move on and play tomorrow. The loser will go home empty. Outside corner, called a ball. 1-2 on Merced. Triano checks on Nichols at first. Back in safely is Bobby Nichols. They know he likes to run. They know he has wheels. They just want to keep him honest over there. Kansas Wesleyan wearing their purple jerseys, black pants. Here's the pitch. Outside for a ball, 2-2. On the flip side, CMU wearing their green uniforms with white pants. CMU is the home team on the scoreboard. Here's the pitch. Runner goes. Pitch is low. Throw it down to second. And he's safe. It'll be a stolen base for Bobby Nichols. And a 3-2 count on Robbie Merced. Robbie looking to do some damage. Has a runner in scoring position with good speed. A base hit could score one. Tyler Triano, 5-0 this season, 4.03 earned run average. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. Robbie is out on strikes. Here's Jeremy Conforti.
First baseman, number 33, Jeremy Conforti.
Conforti in game one had a pair of doubles, an RBI. Went 2 for 4 in that one. Helped CMU win against Madonna. Runner in scoring position here. That pitch is outside. Conforti looking for a one-out base hit here. 0-0 is the score. We are only underway in the bottom of the first inning. 1 out. Triano, the pitch. Breaking ball, a good one. Strike one. It fools Conforti there. He had him off balance. On deck is Tanner Sears, the DH. Triano, the 1-1. Line drive up the middle. That's a base hit. Nichols had to freeze. He's going to stop at third. An amazing throw by the center fielder there to keep Nichols honest. Nichols stops at third. Jeremy Conforti is at first with a one-out single. And now runners at the corners for Tanner Sears. Sears had 61 runs batted in the regular season. That led the team. Also 12 home runs. Here's the pitch. That's taken for a strike. Sears in game one was hit by 2 pitches and had a base hit and a ground out. 1 for 2. Looking to do some damage here. Only 1 out. Runners at the corners. Nichols at third and Conforti at first. Here's the pitch. That's taken for a ball. Well, Kansas Wesleyan got beat up by Southeastern 15-1, looking to redeem themselves a little bit against CMU, and that pitch hit him. It's the 3rd hit by pitch of the day for Tanner Sears, and he's just a ball magnet out there. Now bases are loaded for Allen West.
Right fielder, number 8, West.
Allen West led this team in batting average for the regular season. He had a double and a run scored in game 1, 1 for 4. And he's batting in a big spot here. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Bases are loaded full of Eagles. Allen West crowding the plate, deep in the box. Here's the 0-1 delivery. That's taken for a strike. 0-2 on West. And Triano wants a strikeout or a ground ball here. The 0-2 on its way from Triano. Little bloop base hit into the right center field. That'll drop. 1 run is in. Here comes another. Nope, 1 run will score. Nichols had to hold up, so bases remain loaded on that single. Only 1 run was able to score because Nichols had to tag. Wasn't sure if that ball was going to be caught, so each runner will advance by 1. West with an RBI single. Bases still loaded. Now here's Tommy Giarola. Bases loaded. Hard hit foul ball on the left side. Strike 1. Giarola 1 for 3 in game 1 with a walk. He had a base hit and 2 ground outs. Here's the next. That's low and away, taken for a ball. Giarola. Big spot here. Bases still loaded. You got West at first, Sears at second, and Conforti at third. Here's the pitch. Right down the middle, call a strike. 1-2 on the Eagles' second baseman. Triano, the pitch. Fouled straight back. CMU with a 1-0 lead, and they're threatening for more. Bases loaded, only 1 out against Tyler Triano, who's kind of pitched himself into a jam here. I believe Nichols reached on a catcher's interference. He struck out Merced, and then Conforti, base hit. Sears hit by the pitch, and West a base hit as Giarola fouls it straight back. 1-2 still on the second baseman. Kansas Wesleyan's first baseman is way off the bag over there. Brown is playing near the infield grass, it looks like. That's outside. It rolls to the backstop. Runner comes home, and safe is the call at the plate. Wild pitch scores 1. Everyone advances, so runners at second and third. There's no force out anywhere, so they'll have to come to first on the infield. But that run will score on that wild pitch. And it looks like someone's a little shaken up. That's the pitcher, Tyler Triano, who's covering home on that wild pitch. He's a little shaken up. Hard slide by Conforti. Not a dirty slide, just a hard slide into home as Triano was covering. He's talking with a trainer. Gets the applause from the crowd. Looks like he's going to try to walk it off. return to the mound. They might give him a couple warm-up pitches just to see if he's all right. A tough situation here. Runners at second and third for CMU. It's 2-0. They've jumped out to the early lead thanks to an RBI single from West, and then a run scored on a wild pitch. So Giarola still up to bat now. 2-2 count on him. On deck is Joseph Weatherwood. Yeah, Weatherford. Apologies there. Here's the pitch. Ground ball foul, third base line. Triano trying to put Giarola away here. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. He got him. Second K of the inning, and there's 2 outs. Here's Joseph Weatherford. Weatherford coming to the plate, batting .320 coming into today's action. 408 on base percentage, batting left-handed, facing Triano. Pitching from the windup. Here's the first. Taken outside for a ball. On deck is Khalil Thrasher. If Weatherford can get on. Here's the pitch. That catches the outside half of the plate for a strike. Weatherford in game 1 had a single and has sacrifice bunt. He was 1 for 3. That's taken outside for a ball. There is a little shift for Weatherford as the second baseman Dryberg is near the curtain. Shortstop Gable is towards second base. Here's the pitch. Slapped the other way, foul, and out of play. As the ooze from the crowd as that foul ball hit somebody's vehicle. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Weatherford is out on strikes. Triano strikes out the side, but he allows 2 runs in the process. We go to the second inning, 2-0 CMU.
We go to the top of the second. 2-0 Eagles. Due up for Kansas Wesleyan here in the second.
Top of the second inning, Marcus Pritchard had a terrific first inning. He struck out the side. He'll face 4, 5, and 6 in this Kansas Wesleyan lineup. Hayden Brown, Zach Beatty, and Jarrett Gable due up for the Coyotes. Trying to put a ball in play. Here's Brown. The first pitch to him is up and away, taken for a ball. Brown swings, pops it up. It's high and looks like Nichols will camp under it and make the grab. 1 away, and here's Zach Beatty. Beatty in game 1 was 0 for 3, a pair of strikeouts and a pop-out. Zach Beatty, the designated hitter for the Coyotes, trying to get something going with Kansas Wesleyan down 2-0. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Beatty off timing there. Has to regather. Back in the box, here's the pitch. Check swing, he went around. 0-2 on Beatty. Now here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. It's Pritchard's 4th strikeout of the ball game, and we're not even done with 2 innings. Here's Jared Gable coming up to the plate. Gable, in the game against Southeastern, went 1 for 3 with a single. He had one of a few Kansas Wesleyan hits. He swings and misses at his first offering. Here's the next. Little bloop fly ball and a right, and making a running grab is Allen West. West puts it away for the 3rd out. 6 up, 6 down by Pritchard. We go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. 2-0 Eagles. Well, CMU will send Khalil Thrasher, Dominique Van Dorn in the top of the lineup with Bobby Nichols here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Tyler Triano still pitching for Kansas Wesleyan. He struck out the side in the 1st inning, but gave up 2 runs in the process. Here's the first pitch to Thrasher. Check swing, takes a strike. Thrasher, the big hero in our last game with that big 2-run home run over Madonna, helped propel CMU into this game. That's strike 2 on Thrasher, the left fielder, who had a pair of hits in that game as well as that home run. He had a single. Here's the 0-2 on Thrasher. Ground ball up the middle. Shortstop ranging to his left. Fields throws him out. Nice play by Jared Gable, ranging to his left. Makes a strong throw, and Thrasher is retired.
Now batting, the catcher, number 12, Dominic Van Dorn.
Dominique Van Dorn up to the plate now, the catcher. First pitch to him. Taken a little high for a ball, 1-0. Triano, a little shaken up after that home plate sliding collision, but he looks sharp right now. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Dominique, we did not see him in game 1 as Logan Duty started as the catcher in game 1. Cut on and missed again by Van Dorn. 1-2. Here's the pitch. Little check swing, fouled it right back to the screen. He stays alive. Triano wants him out. Here's the pitch. Popped up, back behind the screen, and out of play. Still 2 strikes on Dominique Van Dorn. Here's the next. He swings and fouls it off again. We'll do it again. On deck is Bobby Nichols. And the top of that CMU lineup. The Eagles with a 2-0 lead. Here's the next. Breaking pitch spoiled. Fouled away again. Good at bat here by Dominique. Staying alive and working the count. Triano, as Van Dorn calls time here. Wanting to throw Triano off his timing. Triano was ready to pitch. He's still ready from the windup. Kicks, pitches, and a dead ball hit him. The second hit by pitch of the game for Triano. And we'll have a pinch runner here. Looks like
center fielder, number 5, Bobby Nichols.
Bobby Nichols due up to the plate. Terry Tolliver Jr., I think, is pinch running for the catcher Van Dorn. Terry Tolliver Jr. with great speed. And here's Bobby Nichols, who reached on a catcher's interference, I believe, and went around to score the game's first run. He bats with 1 out here in the top of the bottom of the second. Takes a little low for a ball. Nichols, when he gets on base, he's a threat, and every team knows that. Tolliver over at first, pinch running. Here's the next to Nichols. Line drive up the middle. Diving attempt, but it gets through for a base hit. A nice attempt by Jarrett Gable. It'll be a 1-out single off the bat of Nichols. Now runners at first and second. Good speed there. Now here's Robbie Merced.
Number 2, Robbie Merced.
Robbie Merced having a tough day at the plate. 0 for 4 in game 1 with a pair of strikeouts, and 0 for 1 in this one with a strikeout. Trying to put a barrel out there. Just trying to get on base. Merced, one of the leading hitters on the CMU lineup, squares to bunt, pulls it back, takes outside for a ball. Runners at first and second. Merced looking for a hole. 2-0 CMU. They're threatening here in the bottom of the second. Pickoff attempt. Back in safely is Terry Tolliver Jr. A sneaky play by the second baseman Dryberg to get to that bag. But Tolliver didn't bite. Here's the 1-0 to Merced. Fly ball to center. Back goes the center fielder. Back, and makes a running grab. Both runners tag and will advance. Productive out for Merced. It advances both runners, but a great play by the center fielder, Kevin Esquilian Cruz. So now 2 runners in scoring position, but there's 2 outs for Jeremy Conforti. Conforti singled his first time up, went around to score on that wild pitch. He's in a big spot here. He can break it open for CMU if he wants. If he can get on base here. On deck, Tanner Sears, if we get that far. Triano trying to minimize the damage. Pitch out of the jam here. Runners at second and third, pitching to a tough hitter, Conforti. Here's the pitch. Little off the plate, taken for a ball. Conforti, as I mentioned, singled and scored in the first. Helped give CMU the 2-0 lead it now enjoys. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to first. Picked up by the first baseman. He'll step on the bag, 3 unassisted. We go to the top of the third inning. Still 2-0 CMU Eagles. Top of the third inning. Marcus Pritchard will face Kevin Esclian-Cruz, Zach Olson, and Jackson Newman. First, Esclian-Cruz fouls it straight back. He made a terrific play in center field moments ago and is now due up to hit. Esclian-Cruz finished 1 for 3 in game 1 against Southeastern. Had a double, was left stranded. And that's a ball. Here's the 1-1 on Esclian-Cruz. Soft liner up the middle. That'll drop in for a base hit. It's the first hit of the game for Kansas Wesleyan. And the first base runner allowed by Marcus Pritchard.
Right fielder, number 99, Zach Olson.
That'll bring in Zach Olson, the right fielder for Kansas Wesleyan, with the tying run at the plate. Esclian-Cruz singled to lead off the inning, and now Olson with a chance to start a rally here. Pritchard pitching from the stretch for the first time tonight. Here's the pitch. Line drive to center. This is trouble, and a great diving catch by center fielder Bobby Nichols. Esclian-Cruz stays put over at first, and that's how the first out comes down. A great play by both center fielders in these last 2 half innings. Here's Jackson Newman, the catcher for Kansas Wesleyan. I don't believe we saw him in game 1 at all. Yet Diego Solis caught game 1, and now Newman has game 2. Newman, we can look up his numbers, swings and misses at the first offering from Pritchard. Jackson Newman batting .205. 286 on base, 295 slug. He has 1 home run on the season. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-2. One thing CMU's defense was excellent at in their first game today was turning double plays. They must have had 4 or 5 double plays to get out of tough spots. Here's the next. Cut on and miss, strike 3. Check over the runner at first. Back in safely is Esclian-Cruz, but a strikeout on Newman. 2 down here, top of the third inning. Now here's William Dryberg. Dryberg struck out his first time up.
Second baseman, Will Dryberg.
So a leadoff single by Esclian-Cruz, a fly out to center from Olson, and a strikeout from Newman. Now Dryberg trying to keep the inning alive. Here's the pitch from Pritchard. Taken a bit inside for ball one. 2-0 is our score. CMU jumped out to the lead in the bottom of the first inning. Wanting to keep it that way. The next is taken off the plate for a ball. 2-0 on Dryberg. Kendall Foster is on deck. Pritchard looking for the sign he wants. Looks at the runner at first. He's set. Kicks, pitches. Up and in, ball 3. Pritchard has walked 21 batters in 58 innings. Doesn't want to give up one here. Here's the pitch. On the outside edge of the plate, called a strike. 3-1. Dryberg. We'll see if he has the green light here. Head in the count. Pritchard. He's ready. Pitches. Fouled straight back. Now full on Dryberg. Three-two. 2 outs. Top of the third inning. Kansas Wesleyan trying to keep the inning alive. Here's the pitch. Runner goes. Ball is up, and it's a base on balls. Runners at first and second now. Here's Kendall Foster. Foster is 0 for 1. He struck out his first time up against Pritchard. Foster in game 1, however, had a tough one there as well. 3 strikeouts and a pop-out. 0 for 4. Looking for his first hit on the day. CMU employs a little shift on him. Swing and a miss. Foster behind 0-1. Two down here. Top of the third inning. Kansas Wesleyan is threatening. Pritchard pitches. Ground ball to first. Through for a base hit. 1 run will try to score. Throw comes in to third. And there are runners at the corners. It's now 2-1 CMU. A big hit there from Foster. It scores 1 run. Moves the other to third. 2-1 CMU. They're not. Kansas Wesleyan isn't backing off yet. Here's Dustin Sipe. Dustin Sipe had a home run in our first game today against Southeastern. The only run they scored in that one. He's got runners at the corners here. Big spot for him. He takes ball 1 outside. Nice block stop there from Van Dorn. Keep that one in front. Foster at first. We could see a double steal here maybe if Kansas Wesleyan wants to play loose with it. Here's the pitch. That's off the plate. 2-0. Second base is open if they want to pitch around Sipe here and face Hayden Brown. I don't know if they'd want to do that. 2-0 on Sipe. Here's the pitch. Fouled straight back. Pritchard, tying run is at third. Go ahead run at first. Trying to get out of the inning with the lead still. Send his hitters up to the plate. 2-1 on Sipe. Pritchard. Kicks, pitches. That's fouled away. 2-2. Sipe stepping back into the box. 2-2 count. Pritchard trying to win the battle. Here's the pitch. Outside, full count. 3-2 on Sipe. Big at-bat here. Full count. Runners at first and third. 2 down, top of the 3rd inning. Tying run is 90 feet away for Kansas Wesleyan if they can get on base. Here's the runner. Here's the pitch. Foul away. Runner was going there on a 3-2. We saw in the game earlier, CMU on a 3-2 count with 2 outs. They did a pickoff instead of a pitch, and they caught a runner in a rundown as he jumped a little bit too early. Might see that again if they want to try that. Ball 4 to Sipe. The bases are loaded. The bases are loaded. The catcher's going to walk out and talk to his pitcher a little bit, give him words of encouragement. Here's Hayden Brown. Brown flew out to center his first time up. Brown was 0 for 4 in the game against Southeastern. Now it looks like CMU's coach is going to go out, talk to Pritchard. Marcus Pritchard cruised through the first 2 innings, ran into some trouble here. He's given up 1 run already, and now the bases are loaded with 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd inning. Two-1 is our score. CMU with the lead as of right now, but Kansas Wesleyan is threatening. And they have a dangerous part of their order coming up. The mound visit is over. Pritchard is ready. Hayden Brown at the plate now. Big hitter here. Brown batting from the left side. CMU doing a little bit of a shift right now. Here's the pitch. Swinging a foul. He missed his cut there. Brown back up to the plate. Here's the windup, the pitch. Check swing, did not go around. It's 1-1. No bases open, so Pritchard has to go after Brown here. Can't put him anywhere. Infield is shifted, outfielders are deep. Here's the pitch. Ground ball hit hard to first, off of his glove and into right field. 1 run will score, here comes another. It'll be a 2-run double for Hayden Brown as he gives Kansas Wesleyan the lead. A tough play to make over there for Conforti. He got a glove on it, but it just got past him. It'll be a 2-run double off the bat of Hayden Brown. And now here's Zach Beatty with a chance to do more damage. It's currently 3-2, Kansas Wesleyan. Here's the next. That's in the dirt, blocked nicely by Van Dorn. 1-0 on Beatty. Three to 2 Coyotes right now. Here's the pitch. That looked like it was taken a little low from Beatty. 2-0 on the designated hitter. Pritchard trying to find the strike zone. Here's the next. That's off the plate, 3-0. And now Pritchard, after cruising through the first 2 innings, has really lost his touch here in the 3rd. Here's the 3-0. Strike called. First base is open, so you don't have to throw anything too sweet to Beatty right now. But you have Jared Gable on deck, who is probably one of the better hitters in this Kansas Wesleyan lineup. That's a strike on the outside corner. 3-2 now on Zach Beatty. Beatty with runners at 2nd and 3rd trying to tack onto the Crusaders' lead. That's outside, taken for ball. And ball 4 as Beatty trots down to first. The Coyotes, bases loaded yet again. Now here's Jared Gable. Jared Gable Let me pull up his numbers for you. 22 home runs in the regular season, 79 driven in, 357 average, 422 on base, 756 slugging percentage. He's had a crazy, crazy year. Bases are loaded for him. Swing and a miss. Strike one there. Gable is 0 for 1 in this game. He flew out to right his last time up. He had a hit in the game against Southeastern. Looking for another one here. That's in the dirt outside. 1-1 on the Kansas Wesleyan shortstop. Infielders are deep, outfielders the same. Playing no doubles defense out there. Bases remain loaded. Here's the 1-1. That's a strike. Gable with a chance to put up a crooked number here for the Coyotes. They've already scored 3 in the inning. Here's the next. Swing and a miss. He got him. Van Doren steps on home plate, but the damage is done. 3 runs. And now Kansas Wesleyan owns their first lead of the afternoon. It's 3-2, Kansas Wesleyan Coyotes. Bottom of the third inning, Tyler Triano back to work for the Coyotes. He will face 4, 5, and 6 in this CMU lineup. Tanner Sears, Alan West, and Tommy Giarola. Here's the first. That's taken for a strike. Giarola. It'll be Sears, West, Giarola. 4, 5, and 6. Here's the next from Triano. That's outside, taken for a ball. 1-1 on Sears. Sears was hit by a pitch in the first inning, left stranded at third. He's been hit by 3 pitches today. In on the hands, diving effort, but it gets down. That'll be a base hit off the bat of Sears. He's on for the second time today. Almost caught by the third baseman, Sipe, but off the end of his glove. It'll be a single, but nothing more. A little jam line drive. Not hard hit, but hit well enough to find a hole. Now here's Alan West. West had a big RBI single to give CMU a 1-0 lead in the first inning. Now here he is again with a runner at first. West takes a strike. Triano trying to settle in here, keep his 3-2 lead. Here's the 0-1 to West. It hit him. Second hit batter of the day for Triano. Runners at first and second now. And a good spot here for Giarola.
Second baseman, number 3, Tommy Giarola.
Giarola struck out his first time up in this game. Had a base hit and a walk in the game before this one. And a big spot here. Might see a sacrifice bunt potentially. Giarola squares to bunt, takes it back, takes a ball. He was a strikeout victim his first time up. Big spot here for him. Runners at first and second against Tyler Triano. Tommy Giarola squares to bunt, takes a strike. The corner infielders are crashing in on that play. One and one on Tommy Giarola. Here's the pitch. That's called a strike. 1-2. He didn't show bunt that time. Might be swinging away here. Tommy Giarola trying to put the ball in play. Here's the pitch. Outside corner, strike three call. It's the first out here in the bottom of the third inning.
Third baseman, number 29, Joseph Weatherford.
Here's Joseph Weatherford. Weatherford struck out his first time up. And he's put in a big spot here. Runners still at first and second. Infielders are straight away, outfielders the same. Weatherford takes a ball. On deck is Khalil Thrasher for CMU. Tyler Triano trying to pitch out of trouble. Here's a check and a runner at second base, and they got him. A great pickoff move by Tyler Triano. And Tanner Sears is thrown out at second. Now 2 away with a runner at first, and this is much more manageable for Triano. Joseph Weatherford. And now the Coyotes will apply a little bit of a shift here with the second baseman Dryberg towards the curtain in right field, while the shortstop trances over to the second base back. Swinging a foul off the bat of Weatherford. 1-1 on the third baseman. Batting from the left side. Three-two ball game. Here's the pitch. Fly ball to left center field. Trailing back is the left fielder. Foster makes the grab. Right in front of the warning track, and that'll do it for the CMU third. We go to the fourth inning. Kansas Wesleyan has grabbed a 3-2 lead. Top of the fourth inning, Kansas Wesleyan with a 3-2 lead. Kevin Esquilian Cruz to lead off for the Coyotes. Marcus Pritchard still on the mound for CMU, trying to keep this a one-run ball game. The first pitch to Kevin is taken for a ball. Kevin got the third inning rally started with a base hit, and he went around to score. That sparked a 3-run inning. The next to Esquilian Cruz is taken for a ball. 2-0 on the center fielder. Here's the 2-0. That's outside, 3-0. Well, after going 6 up, 6 down in the first 2 innings, Marcus Pritchard has run into some trouble here. Here's the pitch. Taking a strike. 3-1 on Kevin Esquilian Cruz. Here's the 3-1. Outside, ball 4. He walked him. Here's Zach Olson.
Now batting the right fielder, number 99, Zach Olson.
Olson flew out to center his first time up. CMU at double play depth. Trying to get 2 for 1. First pitch is taken for a ball by Olson. On deck is Jackson Newman. And then the top of the lineup. Here's the next. Outside for a ball. You have Esquilian Cruz at first. Olson at the plate. Kansas Wesleyan playing with a 3-2 lead. That is outside, taken for a ball. 3-0 on the Coyotes right fielder. .3-0 delivery from Marcus Pritchard. Catches the corner and gets called a strike. 3-1. Pritchard from the stretch, pitches. Swing and a miss. 3-2 now on Zach Olson. Pritchard from 3-0 to 3-2. Fly ball to right field. This is trouble, and it'll get down for a base hit off the wall. Runner going to third. He's being waved home. They're going to send him. Runner holds up at second, and 1 run is in. It's an RBI double off the bat of Zach Olson as Kevin Esquilian Cruz scores all the way from first. Make it 4-2 Kansas Wesleyan. And now Jackson Newman at the plate with a runner in scoring position. And it looks like we might have a pinch hitter for Newman. Number 17, Cruz Oxford. Oxford, 283 batting average, 400 on base, 528 slug. 3 home runs for the pinch hitter. The freshman getting a big at-bat here. It's 4-2, Kansas Wesleyan, and another mound visit as we might have a pitching change. We will. Head coach takes the ball from Pritchard. Pritchard started out strong in the first 2 innings, but ran into some trouble second time through the lineup. And he will be replaced by a new arm.
Now pitching for Central Methodist, number 31, Alfred Ujoa.
It'll be Alfred Ujoa coming on in relief of starter Marcus Pritchard. He is responsible for the runner at second base. That is Zach Olson. As he warms up, we'll give you his numbers. 13 appearances in the regular season, 19 innings pitched, 15 strikeouts, 4.26 earned run average. Ujoa. Alfred Ujoa coming on in relief. Marcus Pritchard leaves this game 4-2. No outs recorded in the 4th. He had 6 strikeouts over his 3 innings. He walked 4 batters and gave up 4 hits. He is responsible for Zach Olson over at second base. But pinch hitting for the catcher Jackson Newman is Cruz Oxford. Oxford batting right-handed. Here's the pitch from Ujoa. That's taken for a strike. CMU down by 2 runs. Kansas Wesleyan threatening with a third at second base. Ujoa trying to stop the bleeding here. Here's the pitch, and it hit him. Cruz Oxford gets hit by the pitch. Now runners at first and second for the top of the lineup with William Dryberg. Still nobody out here. Top of the 4th inning. As the umpires having a bit of a discussion here. It looks like we'll have a pinch runner as well. I believe that's Colson Riggs over at first base, pinch running for Oxford. It is Riggs over at first. You have Olsen at second. And up to bat now, William Dryberg. Here's the pitch. He squares to bunt, takes it back. It's a ball. And Ujoa needs to come into this one throwing strikes. Ujoa looking for the sign he wants. He pitches. Bunt, it's a good one. Third base line. Only play is at first. Throw to first. Safe. Dryberg beats it out. The bases are loaded. It'll be an infield bunt single. As Dryberg was hustling down the line, that was a tough play for Weatherwood to make, but he made it close. Almost got the out there. And now Kendall Foster will bat with the bases loaded. And this could turn into an ugly inning for CMU if they don't figure things out. There's still nobody out in the inning. Here's the pitch. Slapped foul left side. Foster is 1 for 2 in this game. He singled and scored in the third and struck out in the first. Pritchard had 6 strikeouts through 3 innings, but he ran into some trouble with some walks. He had 4 walks and he gave up 4 hits. And that is not a recipe for success. Here's the pitch. Fly ball high in the air to right field. It is a grand slam off the bat of Kendall Foster, and Kansas Wesleyan has broken this game open. And we'll have another pitching change as CMU wants to go to their bullpen again.
15.
Number 15 coming on to pitch for the Eagles, Alexander Billow. Still nobody out here in the 4th inning. It's now 8-2 Kansas Wesleyan. And that grand slam was a shot. A no-doubter off the bat of Kendall Foster. I don't think the outfielders even moved. One of those runs from the grand slam will be charged to Marcus Pritchard. The other 3 will be charged to Ujoa. So the book on Marcus Pritchard, 3 innings, 6 strikeouts, 4 hits, 4 walks, 5 runs allowed. Ujoa, he didn't record an out, so no innings for him, but he gave up a hit he hit a batter, he gave up a single and a home run, and 3 runs allowed. And now CMU will turn to their next relief pitcher, Alexander Billow. Billow.
Third baseman, number 12, Dusty Sipe.
Billow will face Dustin Sipe. Sipe walked in the third and struck out in the first. Still nobody out here in the fourth. We'll see if Billow can stop this bleeding. It's already a 6-run ball game. First pitch taken for a strike. Well, CMU jumped out to a 2-0 lead, but Kansas Wesleyan has responded with 8 unanswered runs. Here's the next. Outside. CMU now trails by 6 after leading the first couple innings of this one with 2 runs. Here's the 1-1. Skips into the plate, 2-1. On deck is Hayden Brown, then Zach Beatty, Jared Gable, and then Kansas Wesleyan would have batted around, which kind of puts a dent in my scorebook. Here's the next. Swing and a miss. 2-2 now on Sipe, as Billow will try to record the first out of the 4th inning. Still plenty of time for this one for both teams to put on some runs on the board. Strike 3 called on Sipe. Got him looking. 1 away. Here's Hayden Brown.
Now batting, first baseman, number 7, Hayden Brown.
Hayden Brown. He flew out to center his first time up and then doubled. 1 for 2 in this game. Here's the pitch. Outside. Ball 1. Looking at Billow's numbers, this is his 12th appearance, 16 1/3 innings, 7.71 earned run average, 14 strikeouts in those 16 innings of work. Certainly not pretty numbers, but you have to have a deep roster of pitchers to pitch in a tournament like this. Here's the 2-0. High fly ball to right field. This one's way foul and way out of play. Long strike 1. CMU puts a little bit of a shift on Brown. They play him to pull. Second baseman is playing in right field. That's a shot over over his head in right field, and he beats the shift. If Giarola was about a foot or 2 taller, he might have made that play, but hit right over his head on a line drive. It'll be a 1-out single for Brown. Now here's Zach Beatty. Beatty walked in the third and struck out in the second. Third plate appearance for him. Beatty with 19 home runs in the regular season. Takes the ball there. On deck is Jared Gable. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. A big cut there from Beatty. Came up empty. 1-1. CMU looking for their double play with a runner at first. Get out of this inning. Runner goes. Pitch is high. Throw down to second. And they got him. Caught stealing. 2 down. Nice play there from Van Dorn to throw down to second. Now the bases are clear. 2-1. 2-1 count. That last pitch was a ball taken by Beatty. Here it comes. 2-2. 8-2 is our score. CMU jumped out to a 2-0 lead early, but Kansas Wesleyan has responded with 8 runs. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball. Ball 3. Billow thought it was strike 3. He was starting to walk back to the dugout, but the home plate umpire said, nope, that was inside. 3-2 count now on Beatty. It was a really sharp pitch. Here's the 3-2. Fouled straight back. Beatty has to protect. Two outs. A long top of the fourth inning for CMU. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. He got him. Billow minimizes the damage. Gets through 4. We've played 3.5. It's currently 8-2, Kansas Wesleyan Coyotes. Bottom of the 4th inning. CMU now finds themselves in a 6-run hole they're going to have to dig their way out of. They're going to have to do it against Tyler Triano, who after a shaky first inning has settled in quite nicely. Triano will face Khalil Thrasher, Van Dorn, and Bobby Nichols. The first to Thrasher on the outside edge of the plate, called a strike. Thrasher, of course, had that big 2-run homer in our previous game to help CMU win 5-3 over Madonna. And CMU needs that kind of spark again. That's ripped foul, out of play off to the right. 0-2 on Thrasher. People are saying that that was off of a light pole. I can't see because I have a big wall covering the foul territory off to my right, but I'll take their word for it. 0-2 count on Thrasher. Here it comes from Triano. Fouled away again. This time off to the right. Thrasher staying alive. Trying to find a pitch to hit. Infielders are deep, outfielders the same. CMU not ones to back it down from a challenge. It's a soft line drive into left field, and on to make the grab is Foster. Foster puts it away for out number 1. Here's a Dominique Van Dorn.
Now batting catcher, number 12, Dominic Van Dorn.
It'll be Van Dorn and then Bobby Nichols in the top of that lineup. CMU has to plate some runs and plate them fast. Triano's pitch. Inside, almost hit him. Bottom of the 4th inning, only 1 out. Here's the pitch. Van Dorn looks at strike 2, or strike 1. 1-1 count on the CMU catcher. Here's Triano's 1-1 delivery. Yanked foul, third base line, out of play. There's strike 2. It's a 6-run ball game, CMU. Still a lot left to go in this one. CMU will just have to keep it close and chip away. Outside for a ball. That grand slam is what really killed them. It was a 4-2 ball game before Kendall Foster yanked a grand slam into right field. Here's the pitch. Ball 3, 3-2. And then it goes from a tight 2-run ball game to a 6-run ball game. One swing of the bat. 3-2 on Van Dorn. Here it comes. In on the hands, popped up left side. Could be playable, and it gets out of play, just out of play there. Van Dorn was hustling all the way to second. If that one would have dropped fair, he could have been up there with a stand-up double, but it just gets out of play off to the foul territory, so he'll get another swing at things. As Bobby Nichols handing Van Dorn his bat at home plate. 3-2 count, Van Dorn. Tyler Triano trying to put him away. Here's the delivery. Grounded foul off the plate behind the screen. We'll do it again. Another 3-2. Yanked foul again. Left side. Foul and out of play. Good at bat here by Van Dorn, working the count. Fouling off some tough pitches. Trying to find the one he wants. Triano. From the windup. The kick. The pitch. Fouled straight back. I don't know how many pitches have been in this at bat alone, but it's been an entertaining battle. Triano, Van Dorn. Van Dorn trying to get on. And he's hit by the pitch. Van Dorn wins that battle against Triano. And a pinch runner coming in for CMU. Terry Tolliver Jr. got good speed, pinch running for the catcher Van Dorn. Here's Bobby Nichols. Nichols to the plate. Takes a ball outside. Nichols reached on a catcher's interference in the first inning, went around to score, and then singled in the second inning and was left stranded at second base. Runner at first base is Tolliver Jr. That's a slapped foul, left side. 1-1 on Nichols. Bobby Nichols. Tough out at the plate. Here's a check on the runner. First baseman can't quite catch it, but Tolliver Jr. can't really go anywhere. Back in safely. Nichols in the box, ready to swing. Triano ready to pitch. Here it comes. Fly ball to right field. This is trouble. It'll drop in for a little single. Taking third base is Tolliver Jr. and a little bloop single off the bat of Nichols. Now runners at the corners for CMU, and they've got a little rally going. That brings in Robbie Merced. Robbie Merced is 0 for 2. He struck out his first time up and had a hard hit ball to center fielder that the center fielder, Kevin Esquilin Cruz, made a great play on. Still looking for his first hit of the entire day. He was hitless in game one and trying to find one here. He fouls that one straight back. Robbie Merced, runners at the corners, good speed at first and third. If CMU wants to run here. Here's the 0-1. It hit him towards the head or shoulder area. He looks to be all right, however. The bases are now loaded. Merced hustles down to first. They're all checking on if he's okay. He looks to be all right. Base is now loaded for Jeremy Conforti. Conforti singled his first time up, went around to score, and then grounded out to first. Big spot here. Bases loaded with only one out, and we're going to have a mound visit as Kansas Wesleyan wants to kind of talk things over. What are they going to do here? Going to have a chat, talk about the situation. The bases are loaded. 6-run cushion, but you don't want to give any ground here. It's still really early. Only the bottom of the 4th inning. Still plenty of time left for CMU to put a rally together and get back into this ball game. Jeremy Conforti batting with the bases loaded against Tyler Triano. That's the first mound visit for Kansas Wesleyan. Now Conforti. Conforti takes strike one. You have Terry Tolliver Jr. at third, Bobby Nichols at second, and Robbie Merced at first. That's strike two on Conforti. Only one out here, bottom of the 4th inning. Tyler Triano trying to pitch out of a jam. He's gotten himself into trouble. Fouled straight back, still 0-2. It was a hit by pitch to Van Dorn on a 3-2 count, a single by Nichols, and a hit by pitch on Merced. 0-2 on Conforti. Just off the plate, 1-2. A daring take there by Conforti. 1-2. The Eagles' first baseman looking for a hit here. Here's the pitch. Fly ball to deep right field. This will score at least one. Runner tags. All the runners tag, and all the runners will try to advance, and they do. One run scores. It's now an 8-3 ball game as Terry Tolliver Jr. crosses home plate. There's 2 down, however, on that sacrifice fly from Conforti. Runners at second and third.
21, Tanner Sears.
2 down. Here's Tanner Sears with runners in scoring position for him. Sears was hit by a pitch in the first inning and singled in the third. Here's the first to him. Cut on and missed. 0-1 on Sears. Sears looks at ball one. Triano wanted it. Didn't get the call from the home plate umpire. Here's the 1-1. Fouled off to the right. 1-2. CMU has scored 1 run here in the bottom of the 4th inning. They're still down by 5. They have 2 runners in scoring position here. Sears needs a base hit. Here's the pitch. Hard hit to left field. It's high and deep, and it is gone. Sears touches them all. And guess what, folks? It's a 2-run ball game. That blast, 3-run home run, 4th run in the inning for CMU, and another mound visit, and we're going to have a pitching change, it looks like. Triano's day is through. I'll have his numbers for you, as well as the numbers for our next arm coming in. We'll look that up real quick. It'll be Ritter Steinman coming on in relief. Steinman has 30 appearances on the season. He's 5-4 overall record, 48 2/3 innings pitched, 39 strikeouts. He owns a 2.96 earned run average, which is pretty good. One of the tops in the pitching rotation for Kansas Wesleyan. Well, Tyler Triano checked out of the game with 2 outs in the 4th inning, so 3 2/3 innings pitched, 4 strikeouts for him, 6 hits, allowed 6 runs. He didn't walk any batters, but he hit a couple of CMU Eagles, and he gives way to Ritter Steinman. Ritter Steinman, 2.96 earned run average. He's being tasked with protecting this 2-run lead for Kansas Wesleyan. Allen West coming up to the plate now. The 3-run bomb by Tanner Sears put CMU back into this ball game. Allen West at the plate. He singled and was hit by a pitch. And he looks at strike 1. Neither side giving in. Steinman is ready, pitching from the stretch even with nobody on. He pitches, swing and a miss. 0-2 on Allen West. 8-6 is our score. The Coyotes with the lead over the Eagles. But CMU has battled their way back. They were down by 6 at one point and now have cut the lead to 2. 0-2 pitch. Here it comes. Ground ball through for a base hit on the left side. A 2-out single keeps the inning going, and the tying run will come to the plate. And that'll bring in Tommy Giarola. Giarola has struck out both times in this one. He's 0 for 2. Strikeout swinging, strikeout looking. Giarola trying to extend the inning. Takes a ball outside. He's a pesky hitter. His on-base percentage was well over 400 in the regular season. He's a tough out. And CMU needs him on here. Tying run at the plate. Here's the pitch to Giarola. He just got under it, ripped it foul off to the left. 1-1 on the second baseman. On deck is Joseph Weatherford if Giarola can extend the inning. Here's the next. Ground ball to second. Gloved by Dryberg, throw to first, out. Well, that'll do it for CMU in the 4th, but they plate 4 runs. We go to the 5th inning. It's 8-6 Coyotes. Well, Alex Billow on for his second inning of work here. Top of the fifth inning. It's a brand new ball game. 8-6 is our score. Kansas Wesleyan led by 6. But CMU came right back with 4 runs. It's now a 2-run ball game. Billow will pitch to Jarrett Gable, Kevin Esquilian-Cruz, and Zach Olson. The scheduled hitters for the Coyotes. Here's the pitch from Billow. Up and in, taken for a ball. Gable is 0 for 2 in this one. He flew out to right and struck out. Here's the 1-0. Taken a bit high for a ball, 2-0. Well, the Eagles scored 2 runs in the first, but then Kansas Wesleyan answered with 3 in the third, 5 in the fourth, and then CMU answered with 4 in the fourth. 2-1 now on Gable. Billow, his job is to just keep this one close. Hard hit to third. Fielded on a hop by Weatherford. Overthrows first, and it goes into right field. In foul territory, taking second is Gable. That'll be an E5 on Weatherford's throw. Weatherford had plenty of time. It was hard hit right at him, and he just overthrew it. E5, and now a runner in scoring position. That's Jarrett Gable. First baseman Jeremy Conforti had no chance of jumping through the roof and getting that one. That brings in Kevin Esquilian-Cruz, who's been on twice today. Singled and walked. Scored both times. Here's the pitch. In the dirt way outside. Nice block there by Van Dorn. Keeps that one in front and keeps it from going to the backstop, which would allow Gable to take third. 1-0 count on Esquilian-Cruz. Trying to give Kansas Wesleyan some of their runs back. That one's taken outside. 2-0. Billow looking for a pop-up or a strikeout or some weak contact. And a catcher calls time in the middle of Billow's delivery. Or was that Esquilian-Cruz? Someone called time in the middle of his delivery. Luckily, he's not too shaken up about it. 2-0 count. Billow looking for the sign he wants. He has the one he wants. He's set, kicks, and pitches. Popped up. On the infield, it looks like it's playable in foul territory. Catcher calls and can't make the play. Van Dorn, that ball had late movement on it, and Van Dorn was settled under it and then had the last minute dive for it and then couldn't come up with the catch. So what could have been an out is now just a strike. 2-1 on Esquilian-Cruz. It's plays like that can be the difference between a win and a loss in this kind of ball game. Winner will move on to play tomorrow. Loser goes home. High fly ball to center. Into right center field. Right fielder calls, catches it, and runner tags. Relay to third, not in time. Productive out by Esquilian-Cruz as he flies out to right field. A strong throw by West, but not able to get Gable.
Number 99, Zach Olson.
One out, here's Zach Olson with a runner at third. Olson flew out to center and doubled his last time up. He's 1 for 2 in this ball game. Olson trying to pick up a run at third. Here's the pitch from Billow. Breaking ball, fouled straight back. Billow pitching from the windup. Kicks and fires in the dirt. Or should I say turf? Corners are in for a play at the plate. Middle infielders are way deep, playing on the curtain. CMU might sacrifice a run here to get an out. That is taken for a ball. Billow wanted that one. 2-1 on Zach Olson. Here's the next. Off speed, popped up on the infield. First baseman calls. Conforti dropped it. Conforti dropped it. And nobody's happy about that one. There's runners at the corners. Gable had to stay put at third. Surprised a mound visit here as CMU trying to work some things out. Two dropped pop-ups in this inning alone. One in foul territory that didn't really cost them anything, and one that leads to another base runner. Zach Olson is aboard thanks to that dropped pop-up. I'm assuming that will go down as an E3. That's a ball that should have been caught. Runners at the corners. And you have Jackson Newman. Check that. Jackson Newman's spot is up. However, it looks like they have a pinch hitter for him. We'll see who that is. Number 24. Diego Fisher. Number 24, batting .302, 441 on base, 547 slug, and 53 at-bats. Left-handed hitter with runners at the corners. CMU needs a double play. Diego Fisher takes a ball. Fisher batting left-handed, deep in the box. Middle infielders are at double play depth. Corners are in. That's fouled back to the screen. 1-1. Jackson Newman has had one plate appearance, but then Cruz Oxford batting his spot in the fourth, and now Diego Fisher batting here in the fifth. Billow trying to work his way out of this messy inning. Here's the pitch. Outside corner, dotted. 1-2. Diego Fisher, 3 home runs on the season in 34 games. Here's the pitch. Waves at it and misses. That's a strikeout. Big out number 2 there for Billow. Top of the lineup with William Dryberg now up. Dryberg's been pretty good in this one. He struck out in the first, walked in the third, and singled in the fourth. He scored twice. Dryberg trying to pick up a run or two here. Runner at third, that's Gable. Runner at first is Olson. Dryberg at the dish. First pitch, outside. We have not seen a lot of action on the base paths for either team yet. Billow, he is ready. Kicks and pitches. That's upstairs. Taken for a ball. 2-0 on Dryberg. Only one base open. And you definitely do not want to face Kendall Foster on deck, who hit that grand slam the last inning. You want to go after Dryberg here. Here's the 2-0. Line drive to center. This is trouble. And it'll drop in for a base hit. 1 run will score. Zach Olson will stop at second. And it is a 9-6 ball game. Now here's Kendall Foster. Foster struck out in the first inning, singled and scored in the third, and then hit a grand slam in the fourth inning to give Kansas Wesleyan the big lead. That lead has evaporated, but Kansas Wesleyan still up by 3 runs, and Foster with a chance to add on more. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Foster. 0-1 on him. Kansas Wesleyan with 2 outs trying to continue this inning. There's a shift on Foster. Second baseman is in the outfield. That's in the dirt, taken for a ball. Giarola playing in the shift as he is several steps into right field against Foster. Foster is ready, so is Billow. Billow pitches. That's in the dirt again. 2-1. Billow looking in for the sign. Runners at second and first. 3-1 ball game. Here's the pitch. That's low again. 3-1. The Coyotes are threatening again. They have Dustin Sipe on deck. Hayden Brown, Zach Beatty, some of the batters due up if Foster can extend the inning. Here's the pitch. That's upstairs, ball 4. They'll walk Foster, and the bases are loaded. That brings in Dustin Sipe. Sipe has struck out twice, and he walked. In the first game against Southeastern, he homered and was the only run scored for the Coyotes, and we're going to have a pitching change as Billow, his night is through. We'll have a new arm to face Dustin Sipe, as we'll get his stats. Number 26 for CMU. We'll see who that is. That is Larry Riddle Jr. Larry Riddle Jr., who closed out the first game, picked up the win there.
Now pitching for the Eagles, number 26, A.J. Riddle.
We'll look at Alex Billow. He came in and kind of stopped the damage in the 4th inning. He got all 3 outs there and then recorded the first 2 outs in this inning. Inning and 2/3 for Billow. Had some unlucky plays not go his way as some of his fielders just dropped pop-ups. He's given up 1 run and the bases are full. So here comes Larry Riddle Jr. He will face Dustin Sipe. Sipe, batting with the bases full. It's a 9-6 ball game. Only 3 runs separate these 2 teams right now, but Larry Sipe has something else to say about that. Fouled straight back. Strike 1 on Larry Sipe, or Dustin Sipe. Larry Riddle Jr. working ahead in the count. Alex Billow is responsible for all 3 runners on base, as Riddle trying to work out of the jam. Strike 2 on Sipe. 0-2 on the Coyotes' third baseman. Two outs here in the 5th inning. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. Riddle gets out of the jam. Only 1 run allowed in the inning, but it could have been way worse. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Kansas Wesleyan leads 9-6. Bottom of the fifth inning, CMU will send up Joseph Weatherford, Khalil Thrasher, and Dominique Van Dorn. The three scheduled hitters up to the plate now. They will face Ritter Steinman coming on for another inning of work. Steinman got out of the jam in the bottom of the fourth inning and will start the fifth inning for Kansas Wesleyan. They have a 3-run lead. They got a run back in the top of the fifth inning and are trying to keep it. First pitch is outside for a ball to Weatherford. Weatherford is 0 for 2 in this one. Strikeout and a flyout. If CMU is going to get going, this bottom of the order needs to produce. Here's the pitch. Ground ball, foul, first base sign. 0-2 on Weatherford, as his elbow guard came off mid-swing. Or is that his shin guard? One of the two. Here's the pitch. Outside for a ball. Two and one count on Weatherford. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss. 2-2. 3-run ball game. Still plenty of baseball left in this one. Winner moves on. Loser goes home. That's how it works. A slight shift put on by Wesleyan. Here's a fly ball deep center. Esquillian Cruz makes the grab. One away. A dramatic shift put on for Weatherford that time. They had no one on the left side of the infield, it seemed like. Third baseman was playing at shortstop territory. Here's Khalil Thrasher. Thrasher 0 for 2 so far in this one. Grounded out to short and flew out to left his last time up. They need him to get going. He had that big two-run home run in the first one. That pitch is way outside. Nice play there by the catcher, Newman. 1-0 on Thrasher. Steinman kicks, pitches, fly ball off the end of the bat. Shallow center, and Esquillian Cruz makes the grab. Two away, that brings in our ninth place hitter, Dominique Van Dorn. He's been on twice, 2 hit by pitches. He's put together some good at-bats, and they're going to need him to do that again. Steinman, the first pitch. Outside, taken for a ball. Well, both starters left this game pretty early. It's been a battle of the bullpens right now. And right now, Kansas Wesleyan leads 9-6. Here's the 2-0 on Van Dorn. Fouled straight back. Top of the lineup is next for CMU. Van Dorn, 2-1. Ground ball, chopped to second. Gloved, throw, out. 3 up, 3 down go the Eagles. We go to the 6th inning. 9-6, Kansas Wesleyan.
first baseman, number 7, Hayden Brown.
Top of the 6th inning. Larry Riddle Jr. still dealing for CMU. He will face Hayden Brown, Zach Beatty, and Jarrett Gable. The heart of this Coyote order. First pitch is taken for a ball. Brown, 2 hits in this one. Here's the pitch. Riddle upstairs, taken for a ball, 2-0. He doubled in the 3rd and singled in the 4th. He was caught stealing in the 4th, and that erased him. Here's the 2-0. Strike on the outside corner. 2-1. Riddle trying to keep this one close. Outside edge of the plate, no call. 3-1. Both of these offenses are more than capable of scoring 3 runs in an inning. They've proven that in this one. Hard hit to second. Into the shift. Giarola throws him out. One away. That'll bring in Zach Beatty.
Now batting, designated hitter, number 31, Zach Beatty.
Well, Giarola was positioned perfectly on that ball. It hit right to him. He didn't have to move an inch. Just glove it, throw him out. Here's Zach Beatty. Beatty struck out twice and is walked in this one. 0 for 1, 0 for 2 officially. CMU's pitchers are working quickly in this one. I like that. Get the ball and throw it. 1-1 on Beatty. Infield plays to pull, outfield straight away. That's taken outside. 2-1 on Beatty. Beatty has a lot of power in that bat. Don't want to give him something too nice to hit. Here's the 2-1 from Riddle. Taken for a strike. 2-2. CMU fighting for their playoff lives here in the opening round of the NAIA National Championship. That's low. Full count. The winner of this game tomorrow, or winner of this game, will advance to tomorrow. Here's the next. On the outside corner, strike 3 called. 2 away. Here's Jarrett Gable. Gable.
Batting, shortstop, number 28, Jarrett Gable.
He's 0 for 3. He flew out to right, struck out, and then reached on an error in the 5th. Went around to score as well. Here's the first pitch to him. Fly ball driven on the right field. Playable, and West makes the catch. 3 up, 3 down go the Coyotes. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Coyotes on top, 9-6.
9-6, Kansas Wesleyan.
Bottom of the 6th inning.
Top of the order for the Eagles here in the bottom.
The Eagles will send Nichols,
Center fielder,
Merced, and Conforti.
Bobby
to face Ritter Steinman. Steinman has come in, has been effective. He has shut down CMU when he has entered this ball game, but CMU looking to get something going against him. Bobby Nichols leading off. He's been on base all 3 times today and has scored twice. Squares to bunt, gets it down, third base line. It'll be a tough play, throw to first. They got him. Just barely, a nice play by Sipe there. And Nichols is retired. That'll bring in Robbie Merced.
Shortstop, number 2, Bobby Merced.
Merced struck out in the first, flew out in the second, and was hit by a pitch in the fourth. Still looking for his first hit in this game and in the entire day. Takes that one outside. Steinman, coming on in relief, has been really good for Kansas Wesleyan this year. 2.96 earned run average in 30 appearances. A total of 48 2/3 innings. 2-0 count on Merced. Here's the pitch. Fouled back. Merced, one of the leading hitters on this CMU squad, leading the team in hits. He's a productive at bat, and you need him to be swinging well. Here's the pitch. Outside corner, strike called. Now 2-2 on Merced. CMU shortstop looking to get going. They need base runners, and they need them fast. Here's the 2-2. That's outside. The run runs the count full. Merced. Steinman. 3-2. 1 out here in the 6th. Here's the pitch. Fly ball to right field. High and deep. It could be trouble. Slicing and making the grab on the run is Olson. 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Brings in Jeremy Conforti.
Now batting, first baseman, number 33, Jeremy Conforti.
Still plenty of time in this one. Still plenty of at-bats left. Conforti with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Working against Steinman. Here's the pitch. Fouled back. In the regular season, Conforti, 10 home runs, 52 driven in. Had himself a good season. Here's the pitch. Fly ball hit to center. That's well hit. Back is Esquilian Cruz and makes the catch on the track. Well, 3 up, 3 down, go CMU. We go to the 7th, 9-6, Kansas Wesleyan.
We go to the 7th, 9-6, Kansas Wesleyan.
Seventh inning action almost underway. Kevin Esquilian Cruz leading off for Kansas Wesleyan, followed by Zach Olson and Jackson Newman if he's not pinch hit for. The Coyotes have a 3-run lead over Central Methodist. Larry Riddle Jr. has shut down this Kansas Wesleyan offense and kept it a 3-run ball game. He'll be asked to do that again. Squaring to bunt and taking it back is Wesleyan Cruz takes ball 1. Third baseman Weatherford creeps in to protect against that bunt as Cruz takes a strike. Wesleyan Cruz, Zach Olson, and Jackson Newman's spot due up this inning against Larry Riddle Jr. Here's the pitch. Outside, 2-1. A lot of room up the middle. Outfielders playing pretty deep. Here's the 2-1. 2 balls and 2 strikes. In on the hands, Wesleyan Cruz tries to fight it off and fouls it back to the padding. A 9-6 score. Coyotes with the lead. Here's a bloop shot into right field. It's trouble. It's dropping, and it drops. In for a base hit. Wesleyan Cruz will stop at first with a little bloop single. Hit into no man's land in right field. West, Giarola, and Conforti all crashing in to try to catch that ball, but none of them could get there. It's a leadoff single for Kevin Wesleyan Cruz. Here's Zach Olson. Olson flew out to center, doubled and scored, and then reached in the 5th. Shot back up to the picture, and he throws it into, almost throws it into center field, but a spectacular play by Merced, who tries to tag Wesleyan Cruz, but Cruz is in there safely. Almost throwing it away was Riddle. It was hit right back up to him, but he tried to go to second for a double play, but he overthrew it. Merced saved it, still unable to tag, so instead of an out, there's runners on first and second on that bad throw by Riddle. Here's a pinch hitter. Number 1, Diego Solis gets the bunt down. It's a good one. Only play is at first. They'll get the out there. Sacrifice bunt from Solis. Diego Solis, who was pinch hitting for Newman. There's 1 out and runners at second and third now for the top of the order. Kansas Wesleyan threatening once again. And William Dryberg up to the plate. CMU is in. Infielders are in for a potential play at the plate to save a run, because every run matters at this point. That's a ball outside to Dryberg. Dryberg is 2 for 3 on the day. Pair of singles, a walk, and a strikeout. Here's the next. Outside again. Dryberg holds up. The runner at third is Wesleyan Cruz. The runner at second is Olson. It's only a 3-run ball game. Still anyone's game. That's outside, 3-0. On deck is Kendall Foster, who had a grand slam earlier in this game. Definitely don't want to pitch to him. Here's the pitch. Strike. 3 balls and 1 strike. Dryberg at the plate. He's ready. So is Riddle. Here's the pitch. Squaring to bunt. Bunts it foul. Now full count. CMU was caught off guard by that bunt, but luckily for the Eagles, it was foul. And now it's a full count on William Dryberg. 3-2. Here's the delivery. Swinging a foul. Off of his leg, it looks like. He'll take a little walk, shake it off. Count still full. Dryberg, Riddle, 3-2, and it hit him. Threw it at his back. That'll load the bases for Kendall Foster. Foster had a grand slam in the 4th inning, and the bases are once again loaded for him. Esquilian Cruz, who reached on a single, is at 3rd. Zach Olson at 2nd, and now Dryberg at 1st. This is a big spot here. CMU leads CMU down by 3 runs. Kansas Wesleyan up 9-6, but looking to add on a little bit more. Make this a harder win for CMU. Foster at the plate, batting left-handed. The first pitch to him. Scoots away from the catcher, rolls right side. Van Dorm doesn't know where it went, and 1 run will score on that wild pitch. Both runners advance, now 2nd and 3rd. Only 1 out. No force play at 2nd or 3rd now. Van Dorn didn't know where it went, but luckily only 1 run scored for them. Kendall Foster now with first base open. Here's the pitch to him. Swing and a foul tip, 1-1. It's the first run allowed by Riddle so far this game. It's 10-6 Kansas Wesleyan. Here's the pitch. Fly ball to left field. It's deep, well hit, and it is off the wall. 1 run is in, they'll wave home another. Relay to the plate, offline. 2-run score on the double by Kendall Foster. And it is now a 12-6 ball game as Kansas Wesleyan has their 6-run lead back. That'll bring in Dustin Sipe. Sipe has struck out 3 times in this game. He's also walked. Well, 3 runs have now scored in this inning, and Kansas Wesleyan is not done yet. There's only 1 out here. Top of the 7th. Here's the pitch. Scoots into the catcher. Van Dorn with a nice block. 1-0. On deck is Hayden Brown. Infielders are deep. Outfielders the same. Here's the next. That's called a strike. 1-1 on Dustin Sipe, the Coyotes' 3rd baseman. One. Skipped into the catcher again. 2-1 on Dustin Sipe. Sipe, 17 home runs in the regular season, 60 runs batted in. Productive hitter. .663 slugging percentage. Outside for a ball. He's hit a home run in our first game that began at 11 o'clock. The only run Kansas Wesleyan scored in that one. It's been a different story here in Game 3. Here's the pitch. Hard hit to 3rd. Fielded on a hop. Throw to 1st. Great play. Runner stays put at 2nd on that great play by Weatherford. That'll bring in Hayden Brown. Runner in scoring position is Kendall Foster. But there's 2 outs here, top of the 7th inning. Riddle has run into some trouble here. Here's the pitch. Fouled straight back. A great play by Weatherford. Keeps that runner at 2nd base. That could have easily scored a run if it had gotten past him or putted runners at the corners. Here's the next. Blocked by Van Dorn, 1-1. Fly ball to the left field. On his way, Thrasher trying to make a play. Overran it and it drops. 1 run will score. And Brown will stay put at second base. Thrasher overran it. And it dropped right to his left as he was running right. It'll be ruled as a double for Brown. That's a play that should have and could have been made. Another run scores. It's now 13-6 Kansas Wesleyan. And CMU having trouble picking out fly balls in this game number 3. The sun has gone down a bit. The lights are in effect now. Wonder if that has any impact on the way CMU is playing. Here's the pitch. Beatty, first pitch swinging. High in the air to center, and making the grab is Nichols for the third out. But 4 runs cross the plate. It's now a 13-6 ball game. Kansas Wesleyan on top. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. CMU has some ground to make up. Bottom of the 7th inning, Tanner Sears, Alan West, and Tommy Giarola due up for CMU. They're down by 7 runs now. It's 13-6 Kansas Wesleyan, thanks to a 4-run 7th inning on their part. Here's Tanner Sears. Sears hit a home run earlier in this game to bring CMU back into it. They need a big base hit here. Popped up, right side. Foul territory, first baseman giving chase, and out of play behind the screen. Tanner Sears had himself a nice day. He's been hit by a pitch. He singled and he homered. CMU needs a crooked number. They're down by 7 runs and are running out of at-bats. Here's the pitch. Fly ball, popped up right side, foul, and out of play again. 0-2 on Sears. Ritter Steinman still working for Kansas Wesleyan. They're going to try to ride him all the way to victory to secure as many pitchers for a potential game tomorrow if they win. Again, the winner plays tomorrow. The loser goes home. Elimination game now. Steinman is set. The 0-2. Outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Tanner Sears, the designated hitter for the Central Methodist Eagles. Ground ball to third. Gloved. Throw. 1 away. Nice play ranging to his left by Sipe. That could have been a base hit had he not gotten a good jump on that ball. That'll bring in Alan West to the plate now. Alan West has had a good day. He's reached base all 3 times in this one. 2 singles and a hit by pitch. CMU needs base runners. West with 1 out. Takes ball 1. Steinman has been effective so far. after CMU's home run from Sears, not much has happened offensively for them. That's fouled away, 1-1 on West. CMU looking for base runners. That pitch is inside, 2-1 on West. Well, Kansas Wesleyan lost to Southeastern 15-1 earlier today, but have responded nicely here in our final game. That is taken for a strike. If it stays like this, they'll be playing again tomorrow. West, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ritter Steinman on the mound. He is set. Kicks and pitches. Ground ball to third. Tough play, gloved, throw, beats it out. West is on with an infield single. A tough play by Sipe there. He had to range in and make a throw on the run. West was able to beat it out, and now the CMU has a runner. That brings in Tommy Giarola. Tommy's had a rough day here in Game 2. 2 strikeouts and a ground out, 0 for 3. And they need Tommy to get on base here. On deck is Joseph Weatherford. 1 out, bottom of the 7th inning. Here's the pitch from Steinman. Jam shot, shallow fly ball into center field. It'll be caught on the run by Foster. Back in safely to first is West. What a terrific play by Foster. Run that one down. 2 away, here's Joseph Weatherford. West stays put at first. That could have dropped in for a base hit and it could have been trouble. Instead, Foster tracks it down, and now there's 2 outs in the inning. Weatherford, 0 for 3 in this one. 2 flyouts and a strikeout. The shift is on for him. Here's the pitch. Strike on the outer edge of the plate. Steinman dealing. He's ahead at 0-1. Here's the next. Outside, 1-1. CMU trying to put together some good at-bats. Hit the other way, through for a base hit. Weatherford slapped it in the hole at third base. And now a couple of singles, and CMU has something going with 2 outs. That'll bring in Khalil Thrasher. In an earlier broadcast today, Thrasher had a 2-run bomb that helped CMU beat Madonna 5-3 and send them to this game. Does Thrasher have any more end-game heroics in him? They need 7 runs. Check swing, takes a strike. Thrasher didn't like that offering. He is 0 for 3 in this one. He's grounded out to short and flown out twice. First and second, 2 down. Bottom of the 7th inning. Here's the 0-1. Way outside, ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Thrasher is ready, so is Steinman. Steinman looks back at second, throws to the plate. It gets by the catcher. Wild pitch. Both runners advance. Now 2 runners in scoring position for Thrasher, and he's got to be licking his chops right now, wanting to score a pair here. 1 swing of the bat could make this a 5-run ball game. 2 down, however. 1-1 count, 2-1 count on Thrasher. Here's the next. Chopped, over the pitcher. It'll be a tough play. No throw. One run will score. They'll throw to the plate. They get one runner in the rundown between third and home. And he is tagged out. As Weatherford read it badly, he is down. He is in pain. One run does score, however. On that infield single. One run scores. We'll go to the 8th inning. Kansas Wesleyan still leads 13-7. Top of the 8th inning, we have a new arm for CMU, Justin Guzman. We have his numbers for you. 17 appearances on the season, 19 and 2/3 innings, 19 strikeouts, 3.66 earned run average. It's a 6-run ball game, but Guzman's task is to keep it that way. High fly to left field. Home run if it's foul, and it is foul. Off the bat. Hard hit off the bat of Jared Gable. The only question was it going to stay fair? And it did not. Gable thought he had another home run. 13-7 is our score. It'll be Gable, Esquilian Cruz, and Olson. That pitch, check swing, did not go. 1-1. Justin Guzman coming on in relief. He is the 5th pitcher used by CMU today in a do-or-die game. Larry Riddle Jr. gave you good innings, but he ran into some trouble in the 7th, gave up 4 runs. He gives way to Guzman. Guzman's pitch, call a strike. Jared Gable, 0 for 4 officially. 2 flyouts, reached on an error, and struck out as well. Gable. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, called a strike, and Gable knew it. Gable strikes out looking. 1 away. Here's Kevin Esquilian Cruz. Esquilian Cruz, the center fielder for Kansas Wesleyan. Takes a ball inside. He's been on base 3 times in this game, scored 3 times as well. 1 for 2. Or 2 for 3, rather, with 2 singles and a walk. Here's the 1-0. Ground ball hit hard, foul, third base line. 1-1 on the Coyote center fielder. On deck is Zach Olson. And if anyone gets on, it'll be Jackson Newman's spot, but they've been pinch hitting for him all day. I think Newman had like 1 plate appearance. 1 ball and 1 strike. The pitch from Guzman. Here it comes. Ground ball up the middle. Fielded, throwed. Merced got him. Merced with the great play, ranging to his left. 2 down now. And that'll bring in Zach Olson. Merced's defense at short has been instrumental for CMU all season. He's magnificent over there. He was shaded towards third base, but had to range to the second base bag and still made that play. Here's Zach Olson. Olson takes a strike. Olson reached on an error, and he doubled in the fourth. He's been on base 3 times today. Here's the 0-1. Yanked foul, left field line. 0-2 now on the right fielder. Justin Guzman trying to go 1-2-3 and send his team back up to bat. Here's the 0-2. That's taken for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strike on Zach Olson. On deck, it looks like Kansas Wesleyan will send Diego Solis to bat. Solis had batted in Jackson Newman's spot last time, and he bunted. Here's the next. Outside, 2-2 on Zach Olson. (13-7) is our score. Kansas Wesleyan with the lead. CMU trying to battle. Here's the pitch. Outside edge of the plate. Guzman thought it was strike 3, but instead it's ball 3. Full count on Zach Olson. Guzman will have to make at least one more pitch now. 3-2, 2 outs. Top of the 8th inning. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to short. Merced bobbled it. Eats it up. Picks it up. Throws it. Picked. Safe at first. Took a nasty hop on Merced. But Zach Olson manages to beat it out. Now there's a runner aboard with 2 outs. Here is Diego Solis. Diego Solis played in game 1. Now getting at bats here in game 2. He bunted his first time up, takes ball 1. Solis. One home run in the regular season for Solis on the numbers I have in front of me. Here's the next from Guzman. Outside half of the plate, called a strike, 1-1. Infielders are deep, outfielders the same. Justin Guzman. 1-1 count on Solis. Popped foul, out of play off to the right. 1-2. Guzman looking for the sign. Has the one he wants. He's set. Kicks and pitches. Line drive to right. Foul, says the first base umpire. Just foul. That could have been trouble if it had landed fair. It would have undoubtedly scored a run. Instead, it's a foul ball. 1-2 now on Solis. Trying to stay alive against Guzman. Guzman trying to send his team back up to bat in the 8th inning. 6-run ball game. Here's the pitch. Fouled away again. He spoiled another good pitch. The count remains at 1-2. Guzman looking for the sign. Instead, he'll step off, and looks like he's asking for a new ball. Or rather, trying to get on the same page as his catcher as they go out to talk. Van Dorm. The visit is over. Guzman back on the rubber, looking for the sign. He's ahead in the count against Solis, looking for the 3rd out in the inning. Runner at first is Olson. Here's the 1-ball and 2-strike delivery from Guzman. Hits a batter. He hit Solis with a breaking pitch that just didn't break. And now the last two have reached. We've seen a lot of hit-by pitches today, in this game especially. That'll send in the top of the lineup with William Dryberg to the plate. And looks like we'll have a pinch runner for Zach Olson. Looks like number 16 running. Colson Riggs. Colson Riggs with 9 stolen bases in the regular season, running in place of the right fielder Zach Olson. William Dryberg at the plate now, top of the lineup for Kansas Wesleyan. And they'll have a pinch runner at first as well. Adrian Villalobos. Dryberg at the plate. Runners on first and second. Here's the pitch from Guzman. Waved at and missed by Dryberg. Strike one. Guzman trying to keep this a 6-run ball game as Kansas Wesleyan is threatening here. Top of the 8th inning. CMU will have at least 2 more chances to get back into this one. But they got to keep him here. Here's the pitch. High and away, gets to the backstop. Both runners will advance. Now runners at second and third with 2 outs. Guzman got the first 2 quite easily, but has run into some trouble here. Still 2 outs. They just need to get the batter here. Guzman looking to his catcher for the sign. He has the one he wants. He's set. Kicks and pitches. Upstairs. Two balls and a strike on Dryberg. Dryberg has reached base 4 times in this game. Trying to reach base again. Maybe drive in a pair. Here's the next. That's taken for a ball. Home plate umpire says it's ball 3. 3-1 now on Dryberg. I bet Guzman wanted that one. On deck is Kendall Foster. 1 base open. 3-1 count on Dryberg. Here's the pitch. Pop fly. Foul and out of play. Now 3-2 on Dryberg. Guzman needs to make a pitch here. Here's the 3-2. Ground ball to second. Gloved. Throw to first. Just got him. CMU gets out of it unscathed. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Kansas Wesleyan with a 13-7 lead. Bottom of the 8th inning, CMU down by 6 runs. They need to plate some runs and runs fast. They'll face a new pitcher. It'll be KT Geralds. And leading off for CMU, it is Dominique Van Dorn. He's taking some good at-bats today. Gotten hit by a couple of pitches. Reached base twice. He'll be facing the new arm, Geralds. First pitch is taken for a strike. 13-7, Kansas Wesleyan with the lead. CMU in danger of having their season come to a close. That pitch is swung on and missed. 0-2 on Van Dorn. Geralds, 19 appearances in the regular season, 21 2/3 innings, 34 strikeouts. He owns a 5.40 earned run average. So a lot of swing and miss stuff, but he's prone to give up runs. Popped up, foul and out of play. Van Dorn stays alive. Still no balls and 2 strikes on the catcher. CMU down to their last 6 outs in this ball game, down by 6 runs. Geralds is ready. He fires. Taken a little low for a ball. One and 2 on Van Dorn. Here's Geralds' next one. Outside half of the plate, called a ball. Kansas Wesleyan has out-hit CMU 10-11 or 11-10, but CMU has really committed 4 errors. That swung on and fouled again. They've committed 4 errors that we can count in this ball game. They've left a bunch of runners on base. They're down by 6. Leadoff hitter Van Dorn at the plate. Here's the next. Swung on and missed. Struck him out. One away, here's Bobby Nichols. And the top of this CMU lineup. Geralds. Striking out 14.12 per 9, which is really good. It's really good. Top of the lineup with Bobby Nichols facing Geralds. Here's the first. And it hit him. Lower body, he's walking it off as he trots to first. And he hustles down there quickly. A lot of hit by pitches in this one. I don't think any of them are intentional. It's just that one of those days where you just miss inside a lot and you hit the batter. That'll bring in Robbie Merced. Robbie is 0 for 3. He was also hit by a pitch in the 4th, but he's looking for his first hit of this game. Merced with 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Geralds with a good pitch there. Oh, 1 count. Instead, a check on the runner. Back in safely is Nichols. Kansas Wesleyan knows they like to run with Nichols. They're definitely trying to protect against that here. Don't want to give up any free runs. Here's the 0-1. Outside, another check on the runner from the catcher, and back in safely is Nichols. 1-1 on Merced. Gerald's has the one he wants. 1-1 count on Merced. Fires. Foul off the pole by the dugout. Strike two. A little sidearm delivery from Gerald's. Could be tough to make out for a hitter that's not used to seeing a ball come at him from that angle. But you got to adjust quickly. You only have an inning and 2/3 left to make something happen. You got to make up 6 runs worth of ground. Here's the pitch from Gerald's. Check swing. He did not go around, says the first base umpire. 2-2. A nasty pitch there by Gerald's. Almost got Merced to offer at it. Runner at first is Nichols. Merced at the plate. Gerald's on the mound. Here's the pitch. Ground ball, base hit on the right side. Nichols will stop at second. And finally, Merced gets on with a base hit. His first one, not only of this game, but for today. He goes the other way. Runner at second is Nichols. Runner at first is Merced. Here's Conforti. Conforti, 1 for 3. Sacrifice fly, a single. He's got 2 runners on. Here's a check on the runner at second, and back in safely is Nichols. A sneaky play over there by Dryberg. Hustle back to the bag, but Nichols was aware. As I was saying, Conforti, 2 runners on base here, first and second with only 1 out. Got to make something happen here. Here's the pitch from Gerald's. Instead, he steps off. Wants time. Going to run through everything again with his catcher. Conforti at the plate, batting from the right side. Here's the pitch. That breaks out of the zone. Ruled a ball, says the home plate umpire. On deck is Tanner Sears. Tanner had a home run earlier today in the 4th inning. Here's the 1-0 to Conforti. That's taken for a ball by Conforti. He doesn't bite at it. Gerald's with another nasty pitch there. As I mentioned, 34 strikeouts in 21 2/3 innings in the regular season. 14 strikeouts per 9. That's pretty impressive. Swung on and missed. Conforti can't come up with anything there. 2-1 on him. Still 13-7. Kansas Wesleyan with the lead. Trying to shut down the CMU rally in the 8th. Here's the pitch. Squibbler to second. The only play is at first, and they'll get him there. 4-3 at both runners advance. 2 down. Runners at second and third for Tanner Sears. Productive out for Conforti, but unfortunately I think he was wanting a little bit more than that. 2 down in the bottom of the 8th inning. Tanner Sears at the plate with runners at second and third. 6-run ball game as CMU is in a hole here. Kansas Wesleyan has looked excellent in game number 2 after getting blown out 15-1 in their first game. Grounder chopped to third base, foul. Sears was hit by a pitch in the first, singled in the third, homered in the 4th, and grounded out to third his last time up in the 7th. Here he is again, trying to do some damage. Here's the pitch from Gerald's. Up and away for a ball. 1-1 on the right-hander. The right-handed DH for the Central Methodist University Eagles. That ball skips in to the plate. 2-1 on Sears. Two and one. Gerald's trying to slam the door in the 8th inning against CMU. Here's the pitch. That's taken a little high for a ball. 3-1 on Sears. 13 runs on 11 hits for Kansas Wesleyan. 7 runs on 11 hits and 4 errors for CMU. 3-1 pitch. Here it comes. That's a strike. Full count. 3-2. 2 on, 2 out. Bottom of the 8th inning. 6-run lead for Kansas Wesleyan. Tanner Sears at the dish for CMU. The payoff pitch on its way from KT Geralds. Swung on and missed. He got him. Geralds closes the 8th inning with a strikeout. We go to the 9th. Kansas Wesleyan leads by 6. Looks like we have a new arm for CMU. Number 23, Ethan Grace, in this ball game now. From what I can see, I think that's 23. Yes, it is. He will face Kansas Wesleyan's 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Kendall Foster, Dustin Sipe, and Hayden Brown. Tough part of the order for the young sophomore to face, but he'll have to do that and keep it a 6-run ball game for his team. Foster had himself a big day at the plate. Double, grand slam, single, triple away from the cycle as he yanks that one foul. 9th inning action. CMU trying to keep this a 6-run ball game so that they have a chance in the 9th inning. They'll have Allen West due up first. That pitch is taken for a ball. Kendall Foster. He struck out in the first inning but has since been unconscious. Grounder to first. Foul ball, says the first base umpire. Late call there. Thought it might have gone over the bag, but he signals that it was foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Kendall Foster. Facing Ethan Grace. Not many stats on Ethan Grace this season. Only 1 appearance, 1 inning. As that slapped foul and out of play. Don't know how. Getting another inning of work here in the postseason tournament. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Kendall didn't like it. Foster upset with himself there. He strikes out looking against Grace. And Grace gets the first batter. Dustin Sipe now stepping up to the plate, 1 out in the 9th inning. He's had a rough day today. He's walked once, but struck out 3 times and grounded out to third. Sipe also homered in the first game against Southeastern as he takes the ball. A long day of baseball coming to an end. And we'll have more for you tomorrow. Ken Quiava will call the championship games. Or championship game, rather. As that ball's outside. 9 a.m. start, I believe, is what I've been hearing. So it'll be an early one for you. Here's the 2-0. That's outside, taken for a ball, 3-0. Don't want to walk anybody here, give any free base runners. Kansas Wesleyan already leads 13-7. They wouldn't mind adding a couple more. Here's the next. Foul off to the right, out of play. 3-1 on site. CMU scored 2 in the first, but then, Kansas Wesleyan scored 8 unanswered runs. Ball 4 to Dustin Sipe. It'll be a 1-out walk issued by Ethan Grace. As the sun has gone completely down now, the lights have taken over completely. Hayden Brown at the plate, left-handed hitter, crowding the plate. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Brown whiffs at the first offering. Grace checking over at that runner at first, looking towards home plate now. Here's the 0-1. Fouled away off to the left, 0-2. Zach Beatty on deck for Kansas Wesleyan. 0-2 on Hayden Brown. CMU trying to get out of this one unscathed. Here's the next. Fly ball to right field. Slicing towards the gap and making a grab is West. Making a nice running catch, and he'll get the ball back into the infield. Runner stays put at first. It's a nice play over there by the right fielder, Alan West. 2 away here in the top of the 9th inning. Zach Beatty now at the plate. He struck out 3 times and he's lined out, but he's also walked. He's looking for his first hit. Runner at first. Here's the pitch. Breaking pitch. In there for a strike. Grace looking sharp so far. Oh, 0-1 on Beatty. Here's the next. That's a little inside. Grace picks up the rosin bag, puts it down. Getting some grip on his hands. Trying to throw a clean 9th inning. Here's the 1-1. Hard hit to left field. It'll drop for a base hit. A 2-out single. And Kansas Wesleyan has something going. Here's Jarrett Gable. Gable with a runner at first and second. Gable with 2 outs in the 9th. Might be thinking, might be getting greedy here. Might try to add on to this 6-run lead. Gable against Grace. Here's the pitch. Curve in there for a strike. Oh, 0-1 on Gable. Grace working from the stretch. He kicks, he pitches. Another breaking ball hammered into left, and this one is going to leave the yard. It's a 3-run bomb in the 9th inning for Jarrett Gable. He saw it coming and hammered it, and it's now a 16-7 lead for Kansas Wesleyan. Goodness. Well, base is empty now. Kevin Esquillian Cruz at the plate now. 2 outs, 9th inning. It's a 9-run ball game. CMU on the losing end of it. Swinging a foul straight back. Kansas Wesleyan has responded nicely after that loss to Southeastern. They've come out with a different fire at the plate. Here's the next. Inside for a ball. CMU will have 3 more outs to work with in the bottom of the 9th, but they'll have a lot of ground to make up. Here's the pitch. Catches the outer end of the plate for a strike. 1-2 on the center fielder for Kansas Wesleyan. Here's the next. Outside. 2-2. Ethan Grace gives up a 3-run home run, trying to finish off the 9th. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball popped up, shallow center field. Who wants it? Merced puts it away for the 3rd out. Well, we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. CMU has some ground to make up. It's 16-7, Kansas Wesleyan. Regular season, 6 saves, 21 innings, 18 strikeouts, .43 earned run average. He's allowed 1 earned run over 21 innings. He has been about as lights out as you can possibly be. CMU will send in Allen West to lead off, followed by Tommy Giarola and Joseph Weatherford. First for West. West takes strike 1. Fastball humming in there pretty quickly out of the hand of Sandoval. Sandoval, big righty on the bump, trying to close out a 9-run win for Kansas Wesleyan. Here's the pitch. That's taken outside. It'll be West. Giarola and Weatherford. Ripped foul off the hands to the screen. 1-2 on West. If anyone gets on, Khalil Thrasher will step up to the plate. West. Breaking ball, a little inside for a ball. 2-2 on the right fielder. Infielders are deep, outfielders the same. A 9-run cushion for Sandoval. Plenty of room to breathe. Ground ball to short. Gable coming on to make the play. Throw to first, he got him. Bang, bang play at first base, and the crowd has mixed feelings about that one. One out here, bottom of the ninth inning. West, good effort by him, but he couldn't beat Gable's throw to first. That'll bring in Tommy Giarola. Giarola is 0 for 4 at the plate. Struck out twice, grounded out, flew out. Looking for a hit. Swing and a miss. CMU down to their final 2 outs. It's 16-7. Here's the 0-1. That's taken a little low for a ball. 1-1. One and one on Giarola. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. He chased the high heat there. 1-2 on the second baseman. Sandoval has the one he wants. From the belt, here's the pitch. Fly ball to center field. Drifting back is Esquilian Cruz, and he'll put it away for out number 2. And CMU is down to their final out for the season. Winner will play tomorrow. Loser goes home. Joey Weatherford up to the plate now. Weatherford struck out, flown out twice, and he singled in his last at-bat. He is the final CMU hope in this one. Here's the pitch. Taken just off the plate there. Ball 1. Weatherford waving the bat in front of the plate, waiting for Sandoval. Swinging a foul. 1-1. Weatherford batting left-handed. A little bit of a shift on him as the second baseman Dryberg is near the curtain. Here's the next. Outside. Ruled a ball. Sandoval. 15 hits allowed, 8 walks, in 21 innings in the regular season. That's what the numbers on this Presto Sports website says. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 2-2 on Weatherford. He's going to readjust his arm brace, his elbow guard there. Now he's ready to go. Back in the box. 1 strike away from closing it out is Sandoval. Here's the 2-2 in the dirt. Full count on Weatherford. Weatherford trying to extend the inning to Khalil Thrasher. Thrasher who knocked a go-ahead 2-run home run in the game against Madonna earlier today to send CMU into this game against Kansas Wesleyan. Here's the 3-2. Swung on and missed, and it's over. Kansas Wesleyan pulls away late and ends it with a 16-7 victory. We won't keep you long. We'll give you just a little rundown of how this game went, but with that, we are set for tomorrow's championship game. Ken Quiava will have that one for you. But just a little rundown of this one. CMU jumped out to the lead 2-0 early, but then 8 unanswered runs by Kansas Wesleyan in the 3rd and 4th inning really put CMU in a tough spot. But they answered with 4 in the 4th inning to make it 8-6. But then it was all Kansas Wesleyan. They added another run in the 5th, 4 more in the 7th, and then 3 more in the 9th thanks to the long ball. And CMU was overwhelmed by the end of this one. Well, that'll do it for CMU's season. They finished the regular season well and fought hard in this one. Come away empty-handed. Kansas Wesleyan advances and will play again tomorrow. 9 o'clock start, I believe, for the championship game. Ken Quiava will broadcast that for you tomorrow mornings. I hope you enjoyed this one as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. I'm Austin Bolin, broadcasting live from Fayette and Central Methodist University, saying so long.